Israel is waging the war on Iran in order to advance the agenda of establishment of Pax Judaica. I ask you, my students, to now help me, because one mind is not enough. I don't have all the knowledge in the world. There are some things in which some of you will have more knowledge than me. Oh, Allah might bless you with more insight than me, and I will pray to thank Allah for that day when my students climb higher than I have ever climbed in the mountain. Be blessed to climb in the mountain. I pray for that day. So now then, in order for Pax Judaica, I'm speaking slowly now. This is the new lecture. In order for Pax Judaica to be established, as was established before it, Pax Americana and Pax Britannica, you have to eliminate all possible rivals and threats. And Britain did that ruthlessly. And the United States of America has done that ruthlessly. And so in order for Israel to establish Pax Judaica, Israel has to remove, at least from its region in which it's located, all possible rivals and all threats. And that is what Israel has been doing. Libya stood up and resisted Israel, and now Libya is gone. Syria stood up and resisted Israel. And tell the dogs to stop barking. If you have a different view from mine, go ahead and publish your view. Don't come after me. Libya stood up and resisted, and Libya is gone. Syria stood up and resisted, and Syria is gone. Yemen stood up and resisted, and Yemen is being destroyed. Lebanon, the south of Lebanon, stood up and resisted, and the south of Lebanon is now in fire and flames. And Iran, most of us, stood up and resisted with exceptional courage and integrity. And so Iran has to be eliminated as a rival and as a threat. And that is the reason for the war on Iran. It is not just the elimination of a nuclear threat. That's only part of the story. The other part of the story is at the end of this war, Iran must not remain a rival and a threat. Will they succeed? Will Israel succeed? I want to answer to you and to say to you honestly and truthfully as a scholar of the Qur'an, I do not see any reason why Israel should not succeed. If you see it, kindly publish your views. I have not seen Iran being faithful to the Qur'an in respect of money and riba. I have not seen Iran being faithful to the Qur'an and Sunnah in respect of understanding the reality of the modern age. The modern Western civilization is the creation of Dajjal. Is there any Ayatollah in Iran who's ever said this? That those who control power in the modern West and in Israel are Gog and Magog. Is there any Ayatollah in Iran who's ever said this? That Pax Britannica and Pax Americana are meant to pave the way for Pax Judaica, and these are the three parts of the shadow of Suratul Mursalat, and these are the three parts of the Hadith of Tamim Dari. Is there any Ayatollah in Iran who has said this? I have not seen anything of Islamic eschatology in Iran to convince me that they have been faithful to the Qur'an and Sunnah with insight to understand the reality of the world today. And I can keep on preaching to Iran for another 25 years. It will make no difference. So then where can I find evidence that Israel will not succeed in what Israel wants to do with Iran? But it is not just that Israel is seeking to eliminate Iran's rivalry and to remove the threat from Iran. Israel has a bigger agenda than that. And this is where I need help from my students. And mashallah, Allah has blessed me. And they're not just only male, they're also women. They are brilliant Muslim women, mashallah. I don't want to mention names, but they are brilliant. As they are in contact with me. And they are analyzing the subject better than any Maulana and Ayatollah. These are sisters, eh? And so now, I want to conclude this part of the subject by giving you an appetizer for you to think about, to taste. I am certainly not going to explore and exhaust the subject. I believe that Israel is seeking a bigger agenda in its war on Iran, supported by the United States, than simply the elimination of Iran as a rival and a threat. Rather, Israel is seeking to transform the world, to make the world easier for Israel to become a ruling state. And part of that is the world economy concerned with oil. Part of that is the world economy dependent on gas. Part of that is the world of agriculture dependent on fertilizers. Part of that is the world of transportation dependent on oil tankers passing through the Gulf, the Arab Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea and so on. Part of that is the Arab world that is rich, the Gulf monarchies and Saudi Arabia, and who, because of their wealth, may feel that they have some measure of independence and don't need to submit as slaves before Israel. And so this war is meant to seek to so destroy the world oil economy in such a way that at the end of this world, the supporters of Israel would control oil in the world. And finally, control gas and oil in the world and control fertilizers in the world. Last word, I know you'll be annoyed with me that I'm not speaking greater detail on this part of the subject. The oil economy, the gas economy, the fertilizer economy, travel and communications. The survival of the Gulf countries and Saudi Arabia as wealthy countries. There will be destruction of their wealth and they'll become slaves tomorrow. But you will be annoyed with me for not speaking with more details on this subject because I want you to do the homework. Before I end, why is Russia behaving the way Russia is doing? And why is the United States so mysteriously trying to build an accommodation with Russia? That is the question. Answer. The answer is Russia must not. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Because I'm not going to answer you. In the same way that I've never explained this subject before about Russia and Israel. I refuse to do it. So too, I'm not going to answer this question. I want you to think. I want you to think. In order that Russia will never project a profile of a rival to Israel and a threat to Israel, Russia will always behave the way that Russia is now behaving. The reason for this is because Russia is not supposed to do that until the true Messiah returns. This is part of the divine wisdom. So don't blame Russia. Don't bad talk Russia. Russia is not destined to play that role before the true Messiah returns. And it is not Russia who will liberate Jerusalem and defeat Israel. It is a Muslim army which will be an unstoppable army, which will leave Khorasan, and no one will be able to stop that army until it reaches Jerusalem. I am not going to speak more on this subject. You already know this. I've written on this subject in my book, The Messiah, the Qur'an and Akhir Zaman. Read that book, please, The Messiah, the Qur'an and Akhir Zaman. Now then, Russia, until the Messiah returns, I am confidently anticipating, as a scholar of Islamic eschatology, that Russia will never adopt a profile that will be a threat to Israel. Russia will never threaten Israel. Not because Russia likes Israel, not because Russia is betraying the Muslims and the Arabs. No, but because this is the divine plan. And so Trump is reaching out to Russia, that with Russia's help, he might be able to put a cap on the price of oil as oil begins to escalate. The price of oil begins to escalate in the world as the Straits of Hormuz are blocked and the oil installations in Qatar are destroyed, in Bahrain are destroyed, in United Arab Emirates are destroyed, and in Saudi Arabia they're all destroyed. And the capacity of these countries to get wealth from oil vanishes, and they're now reduced to poverty. The world economy is going to be shaken up. And Trump, in order to survive in the United States and the Western countries, the leadership to survive, they need to find an outlet to help with the price of oil. And the only way to solve it is through Russia. And that is why Trump is maintaining a friendly relationship with Russia, to get Russia to come and help him, to put a cap on the price of oil, to help with the world oil economy, to help with the gas economy of the world, to help with fertilizers. Russia can help with fertilizers. And with the help of Russia, that is why Trump is trying to get the war in Ukraine to end in a manner favorable to Russia. But they don't understand that. So this is Russia's profile. And Russia understands why the West is behaving like this. And Russia is saying, okay, if this is what the game you want to play, we can also play it. Okay? So Russia is not going to intervene. Don't argue with me. Don't argue with Russia. Don't argue with Allah. If you cannot understand, then wait. Russia is not going to intervene to prevent the emergence of Pax Judaica.